Social media usage is at an all-time high. Not only people consuming social media content, but also creating social media content in hopes to jumpstart their career and become the next big social media superstar. Now, during the same time, the mental health crisis is also at an all-time high, with more and more people suffering from things like anxiety and depression. Now, there have been studies to show that the two things directly correlate with each other. That's why movements such as social media detox have risen to so much popularity. Social media detox involves a person taking an extended period of time completely off any social media. They do this in hopes to find more peace and happiness. With the amount of social media consumption, people are subjected to mass amounts of negativity. That's why over the next 30 days, I'll be participating in the social media detox where I'll be taking a full break from all the social medias. That includes deleting Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, Facebook, and even lesser used apps such as LinkedIn. During this time, I'm hoping to figure out if not being on social media can increase my productivity, my happiness, and decrease things such as my anxiety. I'm hoping over these next 30 days, I'm able to find the answer to this, and I want to bring you guys on this journey to see what happens over the next 30 days where I'm completely off social media. With that being said, let's get right into it. Alright guys, so today has been the first day of this challenge. I just wanted to come on here and talk to you guys about kind of what's been happening so far and kind of what my first 24 hours of this challenge. One thing right off the bat that I realized was right when I woke up is usually in the past, I'd check my notification. Now, I'm not like someone who like first thing in the morning is getting on Twitter, Instagram, things of that nature. But I would check like what notifications I had and start to build my way to the day. And like, my first thing would be to check my phone and see what's happening. But obviously since I started this challenge, I've deleted all my apps. I didn't have any notifications, so kind of what I thought, or like what I started to feel like was natural to do, is just to like look up news on Google. I had to quickly stop myself from doing that because I had to realize that it's not the platforms that are really the problem, right? Like I'm on a no social media detox for 30 days, but the platform itself, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, whatever it may be, isn't really the problem. It's the content on that platform that's the problem. So just consuming that same content with a different measure, which would be like Googling it, doesn't really change. It doesn't really help. It doesn't really help you get the outcome you want. So kind of right off the bat, I have to realize like, okay, I can't just like start Googling things or like start looking up things just to, make up for the fact that I can't get on Instagram, can't get on Twitter, things of that nature. On my day-to-day basis, I have a lot of things that I just try to do every single day just to be more productive. And I would normally do that before this as well, just like normally hit these tasks. And I still followed that same measure. Like I would hit all my tasks, but I feel like there's that extra free time. And one thing I think I'm gonna probably start doing is just do more of my tasks. For example, I try to read 10 pages every single day. And like today I read my 10 pages, and then normally after I read, maybe I'd go check Twitter or something of that nature. Obviously I couldn't do that today, so I just kind of sat there. But I think what I'll do is instead of just like sitting there, I'll just expand it to do my tasks more of. So like, okay, instead of 10 pages a day, I might start reading 20 pages a day. That'll take up more time. And it's definitely gonna be a challenge, but yeah, I'm excited. End of day one. I'm gonna check back with you guys at the end of the first week and we'll see where we're at then. Okay, so it is officially the end of week one of this journey of my 4 weeks or 30 days of no social media or social media detox challenge. During this time, one thing that I've found super beneficial is actually supplementing this challenge with the reading of this book right here, which is called Digital Minimalism by Cal Newport. Now, this book is great for anybody who's thinking about joining the digital minimalist wave or the social media detox wave. He also breaks down a lot of ways that you can succeed in your challenge. So a few things that I found interesting from my reading so far is actually what he describes as digital minimalism. He says digital minimalism is a philosophy of technology in which you focus your online time on a small number of carefully selected and optimized activities that strongly support the things you value, and then happily miss out on everything else. I feel like in the past, I've been a part of every single social media at once. There's no need to be on 6 different social media platforms at any given time. I like the part where he also says you happily miss out on everything else. I feel like during this journey, you should realize that everything you're missing out on is not that serious. Anything that's super important that you have to know is going to find its way to you, and if it doesn't, then how important can it really be? That's one thing I've realized while reading this book. Another thing that he also talks about, if you're on this digital minimalism or if you're on the no social media detox challenge or trying to do that, and you fail, it's not really because of you. It's not just because you're lazy or you don't have any ambitions or you can't
accomplish any of your goals. But you really have to think about it in the sense that these companies are billion-dollar companies. Instagram is valued at $1 billion. Facebook is valued at $1 billion. Twitter is valued at $1 billion. TikTok is valued at $1 billion. If these are billion-dollar companies, they obviously got that valuation because a lot of people are on it, and so they know how to get people on there and stay on these applications. The reason you continue to stay on this application is because these billion-dollar companies are spending so much money on figuring out how do we gain people's attention and how do we get people to stay on these apps. So obviously, if you're on the apps, they're succeeding at what they do. That's why they're worth so much. So it doesn't necessarily mean that you're lazy. Now, once you kind of understand that, it really makes this process a lot easier because you look at social media as you're falling into their game, like you're falling into the trap, and you don't want to be just falling into a trap. And once you think about it in that sense, it really motivates you to just stay on your path and continue to try to succeed in the no social media. Okay, so it is officially the end of the second week. 14 days have been complete in this challenge, so halfway done almost. And I think the biggest thing I've really enjoyed about this is how little negative news I've been able to consume. I feel like in the past when you're on social media, there's the good aspects of it. You're just, scrolling, seeing whatever it is you want to see, what you enjoy seeing. But then all of a sudden, in 30 seconds, you'll see something super negative. And then that could ruin your whole day. Now, maybe it's not the very first thing that ruins your whole day. Maybe you just, brush that first negative thing that you saw off. But imagine you see 10 negative things in a day, which is very possible. That can 100% change the outcome of that day. It could change your outcome of whatever it is you're doing into a negative mindset. But there have been some very difficult parts still. It's I really do feel sometimes that I'm out of the loop, or not even out of the loop, but I just feel that sometimes I'm getting bored and I just want to go check something. This would be a perfect time. I have 30 minutes of free time. I'm bored. This would be the perfect time to go check, what's happening on social media. So just to get over that has been kind of tough, and realize that the reason I'm doing this is for mental clarity, and just to keep that in the front of my mind has really helped and helped me stay motivated to stay on this journey. I think moving forward, it's getting a little bit easier as well from week 1 to week 2. So I think over the next 2 weeks, it's going to be a little bit more easier, but I'm also going to start thinking about what I want to do after the 30 days. I don't want the 30 days to end and I just go back to how I was before. Obviously, the reason I want to do this is to see an overall change in my behavior and overall change in my lifestyle. So I think over the next week or 2 weeks, I'm definitely going to be thinking more about what I want this to be long term. But that's it for the second week. I'm going to check back with you guys at the end of week 3. Okay, what's up guys? It is officially the end of the third week, and with just 1 week left, I wanted to come back on and talk to you guys about how it's been going over the first 3 weeks and a few things that I've been really thinking about and really wanted to share with you guys. Not being on social media, you have a lot of free time. With your free time, you can just sit around and do nothing. But it also just allows you to just think about things. I feel like constantly consuming content, constantly consuming social media, work, this, that, you never allow your mind to just sit down and just think about things. I felt that during this time off social media, I've had a lot of time just to think about what I want to do over the next 6 months, over the next year, over the next few years. And I'm not saying that everything I'm thinking about and everything I'm planning towards is going to happen, but it feels really good to just have a general idea, a general plan to work towards, and figuring out the exact steps I could take to achieve those longer term goals. Not being on social media has really allowed me to just think about it and analyze what exactly I want to do with my life. I feel like when you're on social media, a lot of people who have already done what it is you want to do will tell you about how that's a terrible idea to want to do that. I feel like whenever you vocalize a goal or vocalize something, somebody's always gonna be there to tell you how, you know what, that's not even that good of an idea, dude. Do this other thing instead. They never give you the credit for wanting to do something. But not being on social media really forces you to just think about things from your perspective. Think about things and forces you to come to a conclusion based on the information you have, based on research you do. You can't just look at somebody else's opinion and make that decision. And I've kind of started to realize this, to where I'm fine taking a little bit longer and not using social media as much to achieve my goals if it means I'm better at what it is I want to do. If it means that it'll force me to have a true passion for what it is I want to do. But yeah, those are just some thoughts I wanted to tell you guys about. It's only been 3 weeks. Next week, once I finish this challenge, I'm going to get back on and talk to you guys about my whole thought process, how it's been, and what my plans are moving forward.
Okay, so the 30 days of this challenge are officially over, and it's actually a few weeks after the 30 days are over. The reason that happened is right when I ended this challenge, I actually caught the Rona, and I was out of commission for about 10 days. So that's why it took me about 2 extra weeks before I, filmed this video. Now that I'm feeling better, I'm actually kind of glad that I took like 2 weeks before I made the, my final thoughts about it, because, during the beginning of when I caught the Rona, I was pretty much in bed all day and I had nothing to do and the challenge was over. So I was like, you know what, let me download some of these social medias again because I literally have nothing to do. I'm sitting in bed, tired, might as well just get on social media. I quickly realized after doing that, just after like 2 days, that was not what I wanted to do at all. I felt like I'd almost lost some of the progress that I was building and working upon during those 30 days. I quickly re-downloaded those apps and saw all the negativity, all that stuff that I dislike so much about social media was one of the big reasons why I left social media in the first place. I just saw it all again like this, and I realized how quickly your progress can get lost. During those 30 days, I felt like a lot of happiness. I just felt more calm, more relaxed. During those 30 days, I felt just a sense of me focused on what I gotta do, how I gotta improve on myself, how I can succeed at my goals. I wasn't worried about what was going on social media, and I had a lot more time to work on those goals that I have for myself. Just getting back on social media, I realized right away that how much of a time sink it is. There's so much time wasted on social media, and I just noticed that as soon as I got back on. So just after a few days, I decided to just delete most of those apps again. And in Cal Newport's book, Digital Minimalism, he talks about just picking 1 to 2 things that you really feel like will bring a significant added value to you and just use those 2 things. That's exactly what I decided to do as well. I decided to keep all my social medias deleted except for Instagram because I like to, check up on my friends, see what they're doing, and generally, just post like cool photos that I'm taking, stuff of that nature. But one thing I did do is limit my usage, and you can do this on the iPhone. You can limit how long you're gonna use a certain app every day. I limited it to 30 minutes. That being said, I'm gonna keep all my other social medias pretty much for the most part fully deleted. I feel like this is the right move and right plan for me because I realized during those 30 days is a lot of those things aren't bringing me any closer to the things I want to achieve. None of the goals I want to achieve are really being increased or getting closer to being achieved by being on social media. Not only that is I just feel more positive and more relaxed without being on it. I think that this challenge really brought a positive impact on me because it's more than just 30 days. I feel like I'm gonna take the things I learned during this and apply them to make a lifestyle change. I don't want this to be something where in a few months I'm back to where I was, square one. Yeah, I recommend you guys definitely try it out. And let me know, have you tried it? Have you tried doing a dopamine detox? Let me know what your guys' thoughts are on it, if you've done it, and has it been successful for you? Let me know in the comment section below. But if you like this video, I appreciate you guys for staying this long. Drop a like. Until next time, I'm out of here, guys. Peace.